Hope I'm audible. Now we are going to do the second shift of the 1st July CHSL examination. I'll directly be starting off with the questions right away. Okay. So when was the Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana launched? Okay, by the government of India. See, again, it's a very factual question. You need to know the very correct and the very accurate answer to mark the correct answer. The problem here is that none of the options seems to be like all of the options are very close. So it's very difficult to mark a distinction over here. But we still have one clue, and the clue is Swarna Jayanti. Swarna Jayanti. So what does Swarna Jayanti means? Swarna Jayanti means golden jubilee. Okay, so golden jubilee means 50 years. Starting 1950, when India was declared a republic, 50 more years comes down to 2000. So what the wildest guess that you can make is the year 2000 might be the correct answer. It might be the correct answer, but in reality, but what do we have as options? We have options as 1999, 1991, 1995, and 2000. So we have automatically eliminated two options from here. 1991 cannot be the option. Reason being, this is a Swarna Jayanti Gram Swarojgar Yojana. Okay, so the focus is on giving employment or creating self-help groups or creating self-employment in villages. In 1991, the major focus was LPG reforms. The major focus was LPG reforms. So 1991 might not be the correct answer. So out of 1999 and 2000, I am going to select 1991. So if you can also guess, you might get the question right. There is a good 50% probability, and this question is not supposed to be missed. So 1999 is the correct answer. If you wish to read a little about it, you may pause the video and read about it. Read about everything here on the left hand side. Okay, moving on. Which of the following dances developed in the monasteries of Assam? See, all the dances that we are talking about over here, if you know about them, then Kathak is from UP. Kathak, Kuchipudi, it's from Andhra. Bharatnatyam is for Tamil Nadu. Is from Tamil Nadu. So we are left with Satriya. Satriya is one of the dances which was developed in the monasteries of Assam. This is the correct answer. All right. You may read everything about it on the left hand side. It's also called the Satriya Nritya. It originates from the state of Assam in India. You may pause the video and read everything that's written on the left hand side, because this is much more informative. We cannot introduce everything in the video, so you must read it. Which of the following is not a stringed instrument? Guitar has strings. Mandolin is a guitar which also has a small drum attached to it. So mandolin also has strings, violin also has strings, and flute is a instrument which doesn't have strings, it has holes in it. Okay, it has holes in it. So there are two instruments. First is shehnai and the second one is flute. Flute has either 8 or 7 holes in it. Shehnai has 7 holes in it. Okay, 7 holes in it. So this is the clarity which I wanted to bring. Which one of them is not a stringed instrument? Moving on. If you wish to read, I am just you may pause the video over here and read whatever we are talking about. Okay. Moving on. 25th January 1950. 26th January 1950, India became a what? Okay. So particularly if people have read the preamble, in the preamble, it mentions what India actually became. I'll first try to help you understand what sovereign and everything, all the other words that are written over here mean. Sovereign means there would be a self rule. There would be a self rule. Okay, there would be a self rule, and no outside agency would be allowed to intervene in the internal affairs of India. Then democratic means there would be a voted ruler, or the one who is in power is supposed to be voted. Okay, everybody would be a part of the voting process. Everybody, adult and adult franchise, universal adult franchise, everybody above the age of 18 would be a part of the voting process. So the ruler would be a voted ruler. And about republic, There would be no inherited ruler. No inherited ruler. Or there would be no family, a particular family which would rule the country. Okay. Then talking about socialist. Socialist means all the policies which would be made would be for the greater good, would be for the greater good of people, and it would not be focusing on profits. Then about secular, it means that the state or India as a country would not be identified as one particular religion. It would identify as a religion of all. All religions are welcome. Okay. It would protect all religions equally. Then talk about independent state, it means it is not dependent on anybody. Unitary state. Unitary state means it would rule, it would have only one kind of an ideology. There would be no change. That would be a unitary state. Okay. So 1950, what happened when 1950, 26 January 1950, it was the Republic Day of India, and the words socialist and secular were not available in the preamble. On the other hand, words like sovereign, democratic, and republic were available in the were available in the preamble. The word socialist and secular were added via the 44th Amendment Act, which was introduced in 1976. Okay, the 44th Amendment Act. So, this is the correct answer. You want to read about it? Please read about it. I'm sorry, it is not the 44th, it is the 42nd Amendment Act. 42nd Amendment Act, 1976. Okay, you may read about everything that is written over here. Moving on. In which year did Robert Brown observe zigzag movement of colloidal particles in a solution? It's pretty difficult, so I would rather ask you to miss it, to skip it if you don't know the answer. 1827 is the answer because I've read about it. So Brownian motion. Robert Brown was observing pollen grains in water when he noted that erratic motion is happening, which is not caused by currents or microorganisms which are already present in water. That meant there is some sort of a motion. There is some sort of a motion. So this is the correct answer. You may read everything. Moving on. Which of the following statements about eutrophication is correct? See, what happens in eutrophication is eutrophication means that on the surface there is algae available. This is the surface. And this is the aquatic life. The aquatic life. Okay, in surface there is oxygen which is being exchanged. The oxygen is being exchanged by the surface, which is in turn trickling down to the aquatic life, and the aquatic life is also able to breathe. So what happens in eutrophication is that there is too much of nitrogen which is enriching the water. Nitrogen is enriching the water by itself, which is causing a lot of growth of plants and algae. Plants and algae are forming on the surface. So what happens is sunlight as well as oxygen is not able to reach inside. So because of that, there is a dead zone that is created. There is a dead zone that is created. And what happens in this dead zone? That aquatic life cannot survive. So this is the particular answer for the question. Okay, if you check, this is the correct answer. I'll slowly scroll it down here. You may read, pause the video and read, and again down here, pause the video and read. According to NCRB data from 2016 to 19, suicide cases due to unemployment have increased by. See, in such questions, I would recommend you to mark the highest answer because it is definitely going to increase as unemployment rises. So 24% only and only if you know, please mark it, else you can skip this question. Okay, you can read a little about it. It's majorly the statistics highlight the growing issue of unemployment and its severe impact on mental health and social stability. Okay, moving on. It's not in the given main characteristics of farming, which is not a characteristic of the Indian commercial farming. See, in commercial farming, the main motive, is profit. No matter what, profit needs to come out, or at least there should be no loss. Okay, so out of the four options, the first is insecticides, pesticides. Number one is correct. It is, they are definitely needed, because if the crop goes bad, then there is going to be no profit. Second, chemical fertilizers are definitely needed. Why are the chemical fertilizers needed? Because they would help in assisting the growth of the plants. Number three, there is slash and burn. I'll come to it because definitely this is the wrong answer. And high yielding variety seeds, out of one seed, if we get four plants, then who would not like to have this plant with them? Okay, out of one seed there are four crops which are produced. So what happens in slash and burn, this kind of practice is done for subsistence farming. Subsistence farming, what happens in subsistence farming is that this is also called zooming cultivation or rotational farming. What happens is people travel from, a group of people is there, this is a group of people, and group of people is traveling. So as they travel to one place, they burn the crops, they burn the land, they clear the land, okay? They clear the land and they sow their own crops there. And once the fertility of the soil erodes, or there is soil erosion, or there is no, the soil is no more fertile, they leave the land. So slash and burn kind of agriculture is practiced in subsistence farming, and it is not something uh, which is vital or something which is identified to commercial farming. Okay, so slash and burn. Moving on, ICC World Cup cricket was hosted by India. Very simple, everybody knows about it. Okay, everybody knows about it. You may read about it over here. I missed out on telling about the last one. See, this is from the from the left hand side, from the last question. Okay, you may read everything from here. Yeah. Next question was, who hosted the ICC 2023 Cricket World Cup? My question to you would be, who hosted the 2024 Cricket World Cup? And the answer would be USA. Which of the following is not one of the main pillars of Namami Gange program? See, in Namami Gange program, there is something called river. See, I'm just picking up the option and telling you what is the vital importance of one of those options. In river linkage development, what happens is that there is river one and there is river two. Both of them are flowing in their separate areas. Okay, they have their own separate areas. So the area which is somewhere in the middle is dry land, and they don't get enough water, they don't get enough area. So what happens is that there are linkages that are created, there are linkages that are created. Maybe a canal is done on the left, maybe another canal is done on the right, a dam is created on the left and another dam is created on the right. So what happens is water is supplied through through small um, um, through small canals, or through other means, through other irrigation equipments, to develop the dry land which is in the center. So this is called river linkages development. In the particular Namami Gange program, there is no such river linkage development which is happening. On the other hand, sewage treatment, riverfront development, and industrial effluent monitoring, all these things are happening. So river linkage development is the thing which is in itself a big project. That is why it is not a part of Namami Gange program. Okay, you may read about it. Okay, you may read about it. Mentioned everything. Okay, moving on. According to Global Multidimensional Poverty Index, which of the following groups of states is included in the top 10 poorest states of India? See, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu are fairly rich. Karnataka has Bangalore, Tamil Nadu has Chennai, and they are very, very prosperous. Punjab and Gujarat were Punjab particularly had HYV seeds, the Green Revolution. The main thing was happening over there only. And Gujarat also has a lot of businessmen, has a lot of business industries. Then left are Manipur and Nagaland, and Meghalaya and Madhya Pradesh. So was in Manipur and Nagaland, you might feel that these are the states which are left out. But Meghalaya is extremely poor. Meghalaya is extremely poor because they don't have a very strong economic system. They don't have a very strong economic um, ecosystem there. So I'll click this Meghalaya and Madhya Pradesh. You may see the reasons over here. Healthcare facilities. See the main factors, the main factors of multidimensional. I'll just change the color of the pen. The multidimensional poverty index. It is not only about money. It's about healthcare. It's about education. It's about education. Then it is definitely about economics. Okay. So moving on. I hope you've read everything about it. Which of the following are needed for Skype? Okay, Skype is an online communication channel which can help you see the other person as well. So all the three things which I mentioned here are required. Moving on, the closest dwarf planet, extremely factual. Okay, we can just eliminate one, which is Pluto, because it's very far away. It is not only 2 point far away, 2.8 times the Earth's distance from the sun. So Ceres is the answer. You may also just rote learn it. Okay, just learn it somehow. You may read about it over here, but trust me, it's very difficult for everybody to understand how this works. Which of the following parts of Indian continent is described as Indian Constitution is described as the Magna Carta of India? See, Magna Carta means why is one of the four parts here mentioned is called the Magna Carta? The reason is that Magna Carta means there is no chance that, or there is protection that there is a protection which is ensured in one of these parts, that there is no arbitrary action that the government can take against you. If it takes some kind of arbitrary action, you are saved, you are protected with the help of this part. Okay. 12 to 35 are the fundamental rights described in part 3. The fundamental rights are considered the Magna Carta of India because they protect the civil liberties of individuals against any arbitrary action of the state. Okay, I hope you've read it. Moving on. Uh, which power were Badami or Vatapi Chalukyas originally subjects of? Okay, so this is a very factual question. You must know about it. You can remember from this. I've given you the options here. Muhammad Yunus established which of the following banks? There are a few things which I wanted to talk about Muhammad Yunus. Muhammad Yunus is the current head of the government. Muhammad Yunus is the current head of government of Bangladesh. Sheikh Hasina was the last president, was the last PM. Sheikh Hasina, Sheikh Hasina was the last PM, and she left the country, and she took the route from Delhi to London, and her government was overthrown by a coup, a military coup. A military coup had taken place, which overthrew the government led by Sheikh Hasina, and Muhammad Yunus is now the current head of the government of Bangladesh. So he also got a Nobel Prize. Muhammad Yunus also got a Nobel Peace Prize in the year 2006, which also had Grameen Bank. Like, it was a shared award between Grameen Bank and Muhammad Yunus, and Muhammad Yunus is also called the father of microcredit. Father of microcredit or microfinance, because he was the one who gave small loans to poor people and got most of them out of poverty. Okay, Grameen Bank is the answer. Providing loans to microcredit to rural without any collateral. Okay, I hope you've read it. Moving on. Dash is one of the first criticisms of caste system written by Mahatma Phule, published in the year 1873. So Gulam Giri is the answer. You may read everything about it over here. Gulam Giri. Okay, you may read everything about it over here. Moving on. Chief coordinator of G20 summit, extremely factual, Harshvardhan Shringla. You may read about it over here. Everybody else has served as a foreign secretary. Harshvardhan Shringla was the chief coordinator. He has also served as a foreign secretary. Vinay Kavatra might be one of the questions because he was pretty famous in the last year's current affairs. Vinay Kavatra is currently serving as the ambassador of India, who's serving in the USA right now. As Vijay Gokhale is a retired foreign secretary, and S. Jayashankar is currently the EAM, or the External Affairs Minister of India. Which of the following statements about the 5-year plan is correct? All 5-year plans have equal rates of growth. Okay, I'm just writing option 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. Option 1, 2, 3, 4 here. 1 is wrong because they have variable growths. Variable growths. ठीक है. The planning commission was constituted in 1951. The answer is no. It was planning commission was set up in 1950. The president was the ex officio chairperson of planning commission. Answer is no. PM has always been the ex officio chairman. The first 5-year plan was started in 1951. The answer is yes. It started from 1951 and it ended on 1956. So correct. Moving on, you may read about it over here. Yeah, Nehru Institute of Mountaineering is located at what place? The answer is Uttarkashi, so Uttarakhand. Yep. You may read about it over here. Moving on. The government of India launched which of the following streams to bring Indian origin researchers to higher educational institutions in the country. Vaibhav, okay. So Vaishvik Bharatiya Vaigyanik. Vaishvik means global, Bharatiya means Indian, Vaigyanik means scientist. Okay, global Indian scientist. The scientists who are working across the globe who have Indian origins should come back or should come back at least to higher educational institutions to deliver their lectures or to share their research work. Hampi Utsava, okay. Hampi Utsava is celebrated in Karnataka. So it is also called. Now my question here is, if you have read a little bit about the Vijayanagara Empire, the Vijayanagara Empire had Hampi as its capital. So Vijaya Utsava is the best guess that you can ever take. Okay. So Vijaya Utsava. Hampi. Hampi was the capital of Vijayanagara Empire. Okay. You may read about it over here. Yep, moving on. Teri Mitti is from the song from the movie Kesari. This is okay, not really tough, but if you listen to Bollywood songs, you might get to know about it. Okay, what is the default width of a column in MS Excel? In MS Excel, what happens is let's assume that this is one cell. Okay, if you start typing your name, let's assume my name is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the default width. This is the default width. What do you mean by default? Default means preset, that I'm not making any changes. This is the original width. Okay. So if you type 9, if you type 9, then it will automatically increase its own size. So the default width of a column is 8 characters. 8 characters. Okay. So this is the default width. Who among the following won gold at ISSF and everything? So this is a very very strong factual question. So you must know about it. You may read everything about it from here. There's not much. Dhanush Shrikant is the person. There's not much which I can tell you about. He won, so that means he won. Factual based questions need to be learned. All right then. Thank you so much.